lokas tavapi vakrani samruddha vegaha. Yatha, as pradiptam, blazing, jwalanam, fire, patangaha, moths, vishanti, enters, nashaya, destruction, samraddha, full, vegaha, speed, tatha eva, similarly, nashaya, for destruction, vishanti, entering, lokaha, all people, tava, unto you, api, also, vaktrani, in the mouths, samruddha, vegaha, with full speed. As blazing fire, moths enters destruction, full speed, similarly, for destruction, entering all people unto you, also in the mouths with full speed. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. I see all people rushing with full speed into your mouths as moths dash into a blazing fire. So there is no purport. So my realization from this verse is, actually, I came across with Srila Prabhupada's couple of lectures. So in one of the lectures, Srila Prabhupada says that regarding destruction, universal. So Srila Prabhupada emphasizes that Krishna, in his universal form, shows his role as his ultimate destroyer. So this vision is meant to demonstrate that destruction is also, Srila Prabhupada said that destruction is also a part of divine activities and is necessary for a cycle of creation and renewal. So both illuminating and the destructive, it reveals that the universal truth and the temporary nature of the world. So here, by knowing this nature, temporary, the devotee should seek the eternal refuge in Krishna. Understanding these fierce aspects of the divine, it's like since we know that this is the fierce destruction, but devotees, they turn away from that material attachment and seek shelter in Krishna consciousness or Krishna. So Krishna's control over the universe, including life and death, it helps the devotees to develop humanity and the surrender to Krishna's will. So we must think about Krishna and cultivate Krishna consciousness. The Krishna consciousness means we should act in such a way that how Krishna will be satisfied. And those who strictly follow the regulation, Srila Prabhupada in another lecture said that those who strictly follow the regulation and Krishna consciousness actually live in the spiritual world, not in the material world. Also, in Canto 1, Chapter 8, verse 42, translation, O Lord of Madhu, as the Ganges forever flows to the sea without hindrance, let my attraction be constantly drawn unto you without being diverted to anyone else. So in purport, Srila Prabhupada says that the perfection of the pure devotional service means to attain when all attention is diverted towards the transcendental loving service of the Lord. We have to cut off all the tie of the affection, which is in especially our family, society, everything we have to cut off. But sometimes it is not possible. Whenever we must have the feeling of affection, that is because of this is the symptoms of our life. And that's symptoms of lives such as desire, anger, hankering, feelings, etc., that cannot be annihilated. So only the objective has to be changed. Desire cannot be negated, but in devotional service, the desire is changed only for the service of the Lord in place of the desire for all our sense gratification. So yeah, so Hare Krishna. So this is my relation from this verse. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you, Sopan Prabhu, for your nice realization. Thank you, His Grace Amrish Prabhu, Hare Krishna Pragya Devi Dasi Mataji, and His Grace Krishna Sarpan Krishna Prabhu for organizing this class and to giving us chance for sharing our realization. Thank you, Prabhu. So, this verse, यथा प्रदीप्तं ज्वलनं पतंगा विशन्ति नाशाय समृद्धवेगाः तथैव नाशाय विशन्ति लोकाः तवापि वक्त्राणि समृद्धवेगाः. I see all people rushing full speed into your mouth, as moths dash to destruction in a blazing fire. So, in this verse, um, Arjun, Arjuna compares all the people with moths, as moths destruct themselves by entering into fire. Same way, all the people entering into Lord's universal form, mouth. So the Lord is devouring everybody. Actually, moths fly towards light and try, um, and they end up killing themselves in the flame because light attracts them very much. So similarly, in this material world, people progressing towards death, especially in current civilization, people are more attracted towards technology and gadgets, which bringing them to destruction more rapidly. We are more and more addicted to gadgets and technologies and thinking it will ease our life, but in fact, this is making us more and more blind towards natural living. And material energy of the Lord is bewildering us because conditioned souls and this they are conditioned and they stuck here in birth and death cycle. So the strong attraction for material energy is causing um, to this vicious cycle of us. There is a verse in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 14, verse 7. Um, Rajo ragatmakam vidhi Krishna sangha samudbhavam tan nibadhanti konteya karma sangena dehinam. Translation: the mode of passion is born of unlimited desires and longings, O son of Kunti, and because of this, the embodied living entity is bound to material fruitive action. Uh, I'll just read a couple of points from Srila Prabhupada's purport here. Prabhupada is saying that when the mode of passion is increased, one develops the hankering for material enjoyment. He wants to enjoy sense gratification. For sense gratification, a man in the mode of passion wants some honor in society or in the nation and wants to have a happy family with nice children, wife, and house. These are the products of mode of passion. As long as one is hankering after these things, he has to work very hard. Therefore, it is clearly stated here that he becomes associated with the fruits of his activities and thus becomes bound by such activities. In order to please his wife, children, and society, and to keep up his prestige, one has to work. Therefore, the whole material world is more or less in the mode of passion. And modern civilization is considered to be advanced in the standard of the mode of passion. Formerly, the advanced condition was considered to be in the mode of goodness. If there is no liberation for those in the mode of goodness, what to speak of those who are entangled in the mode of passion? Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So here Srila Prabhupada is saying that in before ages, the advancement means that we are progressing in the mode of goodness. But in modern civilization, is considered advancement is when we progressing in mode of passion, more and more entangled, and that's why the bewilderment is here. And the example of moths, uh, I realize that is very suitable here for people that entering into Lord's mouth, because we are attracted towards um, very lightning or attractive things of material energy and entering into destruction. So that's my realization. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Dolly Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji, for giving us the opportunity to share our realizations. Thank you, all the devotees, for your very nice realization. Jai Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Yatha pradiptam jwalanam patanga vishanti nashya smratha vegah tatheva nashya vishanti lokah Tavapi vaktrani smratha vegah. I see all people rushing full speed into your mouth as moth dash to destruction in a blazing fire. So it's a very little verse, but it I think mean a lot that how we are intentionally or unintentionally have to just we have to pray to Krishna that so that we can go back to him. In this verse and in the previous version, Arjuna said that there were warriors who were fulfilling their duties, but there were also those who were just working like moths, and they were just they had like no intention of what they're doing. But although there was this warriors, but still they had the mercy of Krishna, so they just had their imminent death, and I guess that they, with the mercy of Krishna, they have just they probably have they just tried, like they had the way to go back to Godhead. So I realized from this verse that like we have all the way taught by Srila Prabhupada, that what are we supposed to do, and if we are doing that, then we are under those people, like under those warriors, that we know what we are doing, and we have the clear path of progressing. Like if it's all up to us, but we have the path taught to us, and we have the clear path to progress ourselves, so that we can progress and we can directly go back to Godhead. But if a person who has a very little knowledge, they have also the same opportunity to serve Krishna, but it is entirely up to an individual's choice. So I realized that, Prabhuji, that we, whatever path we have shown by Srila Prabhupada and by our acharyas, that's the only way which will take us and which will help us to grow our bhakti towards Krishna. That's what I realized, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you very much for your nice realization. So we are doing Bhagavad Gita chapter 11, the universal form, text 29. Yatha pradiptam jwalanam patangam vishanti saya samriddha vega tathaiva nasaya visanti lokas tavapi bhaktani samriddha vega. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. I see all people rushing with full speed into your mouths as moths dash into a blazing fire. So here Arjun is describing how he is seeing and how he's seeing all the people in the battlefield who are on the wrong side of dharma. And Krishna is, as we have seen in the previous verses, Krishna has displayed his universal form to Arjun. And Arjun is describing over here what he is seeing. And in this, we also know that Krishna is giving Arjun the assurance that the Pandavas will not be part of this. They will survive. They will be victorious because Krishna is with them and Dharma is on their side. So the immediate thought that comes to our mind is which side do we want to be in, you know? And of course, we want to be on that side where all our actions are favorable to Krishna and pleasing to Krishna. And then that will result in the correct path for us. And I just did a bit of read on this moths dash into blazing fire. It seems like it's a terminology that is used, and it's used to describe something where there is attraction, but it is in a negative way. So the thought also came to my mind. I remember Srila Prabhupada saying this, that, you know, everybody is attracted to Krishna ultimately. The devotees are favorably attracted to Krishna. And then there are demons who are not favorably attracted to Krishna. Even Kamsa and Ravana, they were also chanting Krishna's names continuously, but in a negative way. So we want to follow the footsteps of devotees like Arjun and make the, you know, purpose of a life, achieve the purpose of a life. Otherwise, it is just waste of this precious life. And we have, like, I'm sure everybody has, we witnessed this, how the moths actually, they really rush into the fire when the fire is there. And as a young child, I was thinking that, do they not know what is going to happen? Like, do they not feel the heat? I wish somebody would tell them. Or if one of the moth goes in, then how does the second one go behind? Why do they not think that, oh, you know, going there is causing us death, so maybe I should avoid it? All these thoughts as a child, I remember. And then I remember we had been to a place in the South Island, in New Zealand, and it was a very high hill, like a mountain. And from the mountain top, we could see some penguins, you know, down. And they were all in their own world. And it was like a colony of penguins. And there were some specialists, and they mentioned that they are very personal, and they have feelings and this and that. And when we were looking from up down, you know, I could see it was very teeny. You could see very tiny penguins, but they were so absorbed in their own world. And the thought came to my mind at that time that, you know, they have no idea of, as they're born as penguins, like how we think that we are so-called superior in birth. I'm sure the living beings who are above us in the spiritual planet must be thinking the same about us, that how these people are so busy in their own worlds, doing all their activities, you know, building relationships, building everything material, and so much energy, so much time, so much endeavor, so much everything is gone. And it's, if it is not related to Krishna, then it is Shama Eva Hi Kevalam. And in the same analogy, when I was thinking that, wise people learn from other people. So how, if the first moth is going, the second moth, as a human being, if we are seeing what is the consequence of our actions, are we still learning from that? That is the question I was asking myself, that how much time and how much effort and how much of energy am I investing in my material activities, and how much am I investing in my spiritual activities, and what is it that I'm doing? Am I also actually just running to that blazing fire and knowing that it is going to not cause anything if it's nothing related to Krishna consciousness? So it just sometimes some verses or some purpose by Srila Prabhupada or some lectures by Srila Prabhupada just hit that nerve and shake you up. And this one also, in that sense, I felt shook me up that, don't waste your time. Time is very limited, and focus on what is important. Focus on building your Krishna conscious activities and life, and spend less and less time to such an extent that then there is no difference between your material and spiritual life and activities. So yeah, that's my realization. Hare Krishna.
Shita Babu, are you ready to give now?
Can you hear me? For giving the opportunity.
No, we can't hear you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Can you be a bit louder or closer to the microphone, please? We can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
It's still a bit patchy.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, please speak now, Prabhuji.
Can you hear it, Prabhu?
No.
Lot of echo, Prabhu, lot of echo.
Just a minute, I will go outside. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, can you hear me now?
Much better, Prabhu. Much better. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Okay, Hare Krishna. So this verse, Bhagavad Gita 29, is a continuation of previous verse. And first of all, thank you all the devotees for sharing your realization. Yatha pradiptam jwalantam patanga vishanti nashaya samudra vega tathaiva nashaya vishanti lokas tavapi bhaktani samudra vega. In a basic fire. So here Arjuna, has a desire to see Krishna's universal form, and Krishna is fulfilling his desire. So he could able to see now, and we have actually studied all those descriptions, what he has seen so far. And in the last verse, it is said that actually, just like all the the streams of the rivers or the waves of the river, they flow into the ultimately in the ocean. So all the great warriors, they actually entering into the mouths of the actually Sri Krishna in his universal form. And here, so previously, actually the analogy that was given, the river, actually, so all the rivers, or the streams, they naturally, unintentionally, they actually find their path, back to the actually ocean. So here, actually, the description given, analogy given of the moths, who are actually normally attracted by the light and fire, and we can see that actually they get attracted and actually they fly into the fire and they get destroyed. Even actually, they are actually seeing other moths are actually flying into the fire and getting killed. Still, they actually do the same thing. So while meditating on this analogy, actually, what is the lesson to be learned? Actually meditating on this point, actually, because it's just a translation is given here. There's no purpose. So the condition, as we say, that actually Krishna is the beginning, middle, and the end. Our seed verse, Aham sarvasya prabhu, matha sarvam pravar iti matva bhajante ma vadaha bhava samanvita. So he's the source of everything. Krishna is the source. In previous verses, we also discussed the point of him being the maintainer, and ultimately he annihilate everything in the end. So the seed verse in Bhagavatam also, has the same point where Krishna is actually present before there is nothing, no material cosmic manifestation was actually created, and after the annihilation, he is the only one who remains. So ultimately, everything that is created, it also actually get annihilated and ultimately rest into Krishna's potencies, originations. But here, the analogy, actually, the condition of the living entities, especially the conditioned souls in this material world, is similar to these moths, who are actually flying with this full speed into the actually blazing fire. Because I remembered actually Srila Prabhupada, who gave the lecture on Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 1, chapter, I think it's chapter 2, verse 7, where he actually discussed this material world and actually the miseries of the material world, where he said that all the conditioned souls, they're working very, very hard. They work so hard that actually the foam come to their mouth, and still, even working very hard, try to make their ends meet, still they find themselves very frustrated. Even after working very hard, even they finally successful of actually earning some material belongings or whatever the vaibhav they have, still there is always a fear of losing that. So they always live in the anxiety and fear as well. And ultimately, at the end, no matter what we do, we all have to face the death. So, achieving the chiv, so that's actually famous instruction from the 10 to 7, that we are actually achieving what has been achieved. So that is actually position of the conditioned soul. So just like this moths, they are seeing, other moths are actually flying into the fire and they're getting killed. But we are also following the same path. We're achieving this what has been achieved many times. So that is what actually I realized. Condition of the actually, especially conditioned souls in this material world. We are actually totally under illusion, and we always think that we will find a happiness in this material world, and that's why we work very hard, and we actually invest all our time, effort, energy, and ultimately the end, actually we end up frustrated. Actually, if we find any happiness, that is also going to be very momentary. So until we take to the actually the devotional service of the lotus feet of the Lord, there is no relief. There are many verses in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, talks about the same point, that like Bhoktaram Yagnitapsam, Sarva Loka Maheshwaram, Surudam Sarva Bhutanam, Nyatwamam Shantim Richati. Unless we understand the real position of Lord Shri Krishna as actually the proprietor of everything, and he's actually supposed to be the bhokta of everything. And when we understand and we actually behave or actually conduct our behavior according to our real constitutional position, that is being of a servant, then there is a chance that actually the shanti Gicchati, we may be able to attain the peace, So that is the peace formula given in Bhagavad Gita. So here, actually, from this verse, what I realize is just actually, the material world or the condition of the living soul in this material world is described in this verse. And also solution is actually given in Bhagavad Gita as well. And Srila Prabhupada has given very nice purport in there as well. So that is actually what I realized while meditating on this verse. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So thank you very much for your wonderful realizations. And again, it gives us great pleasure that even without the purport, we are able to speak something, from what Srila Prabhupada has taught us. So many different purports around the world, in so many books. So this particular verse, in what we have been discussing, I've been saying, is continuation, where here Arjuna is saying that I see people rushing with full speed into your mouths, as moths dash into a blazing fire. I remember way back when Maharaj gave us mercy in Wellington, it was Wellington. So I think the next day of that, Maharaj was giving Bhagavatam class, and Maharaj quoted a Gujarati poem. And Maharaj told me in the crowd, he said, you will enjoy it. And in that, one of the pankti is that the moths helplessly are rushing into the fire, into the death. And we also, we may call ourselves as intelligent human beings, humans, better understanding than animals. But we are also doing the same Charvita Charvana Nam. As Prahlad Maharaj says, Punaha Punaha Charvita Charvana Nam. Chewing the chewed. The same father says to the son, to us, don't tell my son to become Krishna conscious. Let him enjoy life first. And he himself is struggling, the father. Still he wants the child to do the same. Same thing with the mother also. And we can also see that the childbearing mother, woman, giving childbirth is like going to death and coming back. But again, she is very happy to become pregnant again. Again, go to death and come back. You see. So we are all like moths, All of us are like moths. Same mistakes will keep on happening. They keep on doing. Intelligent people learn from others' mistakes. It's very difficult to have peaceful mind and not to make those mistakes. We make those mistakes. It's guaranteed because we are not at peace. We may think we are at peace with our own self. But are we happy in our skin, under our skin? As we were discussing on Sunday, the Sunday class. How many of us feel happy under our skin? It's a big thing to be happy. Majority of people around, ask them, they say, no, we are not happy with what we are doing, what we are under our skin. So much difficulties, so much problems. So the thread that we're discussing and I've been mentioning in the past few verses, the past few weeks, is that devotees, like when Arjuna became very disturbed seeing Krishna's this form, ghastly form. So how come devotees become distressed? That point came a couple of weeks ago. The answer is this, and that we have been discussing, is this that this is not Krishna. Actually, yes, it's a form of Krishna, that's right, but it's an automatic form. That is not what he likes to do. This universal form is nature. Nature works in its own axis. We are born, we enjoy, we suffer, we die. Krishna is not interested in this. He's very much interested in all the living beings to bring them back from where we left. Start from where we do. Continue from where we left. So when any living being, by personal choice, takes to his bhakti, starts his bhakti, then Krishna becomes very interested. And that is when we say that, okay, Maya is so strong. Actually, Maya and Krishna is already helping us. The thing is this, we did not realize it before that Maya's existence, because we were completely defeated by her. Being Krishna conscious, being conscious of Krishna, and conscious of Krishna's and all his energies. So that is when we become conscious of Krishna's energy of Maya. That's when we realize Maya is so strong. Before that, we don't even know that she's strong, she doesn't exist. We're just enjoying like animals. Punah punah charita charananam. Chewing the chew happily, becoming happy for something, becoming sad for something, putting our mind on a subject, solving our problems, finding some happiness, another problem comes. Again a problem. Again solving a problem, we are happy. Again a problem, we are not happy. Body is paining, mind is paining, brain is paining. We don't even care that our mind is against us. We didn't even know this. So this is what devotees are afraid of. They are not seeing Krishna in this form. And it is not his form, it's material form of Krishna, as we discussed at the very beginning. Now, what devotees actually see Krishna, that glimpse we can find in Krishna's pastimes. And we have to be very careful discussing these things, But just for the sake of understanding and for the sake of our leaders group, Sangha, we just take a little bit of discussion on this point, What does Krishna do? What does Krishna do then? What are those devotees accustomed to seeing Krishna do? Krishna just enjoys. That's what he does. Full stop. Nothing else. You see, we are discussing Krishna and Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita. There are further discussions of Krishna and Arjuna in other Puranas also, where Krishna is discussing with Arjuna very intimately about his feelings to the gopis. And he shares with him the greatness of the gopis. So it is not in Bhagavad Gita, it is in other scriptures. It will come in our study as we go deeper in the scriptures. So Arjuna knows about Krishna's inner feelings and the rasas and the mellows that he has. Krishna is full of mellows. That's what he is. He is full of rasas. He's not interested in all these material things. It is very insignificant is one thing, but it is very obnoxious for him. Even when a devotee, when he or she comes to the realization platform, they don't want to discuss material things. This person did that person did that. They're not interested in these things. They're just interested in spiritual activities of enjoying the mellows with Krishna. He is a reservoir of all the mellows. As I said, be very careful of what I say with my limited capacity. We don't want to overjump things, But just to have some idea about this point, why devotees become very afraid of this ghastly form of Krishna. It's not his form. They're not used to it. So Arjuna was not used to seeing this form of Krishna, as I said, because he's used to seeing Krishna discussing about his pastime with the gopis. Even the gopis, when they talk about to Krishna, they refer to him as Krishna, the friend of Arjuna. You see? So his importance is there among the gopis also, Arjuna's importance. And Krishna shows the importance of gopis to him. And why are they topmost? He explains to them. You see, that the thing is this, we love Krishna because we love Krishna. We feel happy about it. That's why we love Krishna. And that also we are finding it so difficult. We love Krishna in patches, Whereas the gopis love Krishna, and when they love Krishna and when they feel their love and happiness to Krishna, they feel this is hindrance in their execution of service to Krishna, full stop. They don't like it. Now you may ask the question, what is wrong if the gopis are serving Krishna and they love Krishna, they like Krishna? Why do they hate this? The answer is this, they love Krishna for the pleasure of Krishna, not for their own pleasure. So we all have been loving Krishna because Krishna is God and we love him. And we are giving us some pleasure. But it's not giving him enough pleasure, not giving us enough pleasure that we are constantly loving him. We are not doing it. There's no constant love for Krishna. See? But for the gopis, there's constant love for Krishna attachment, and they don't want it where their own ignorance comes in. And not only the gopis, Krishna's other personal servants also feel the same. Like Daruka, his charioteer, when he's fanning Krishna, when he feels pleasure on fanning Krishna, Krishna's happy, I'm very happy seeing Krishna happy. They doesn't like his happiness. There is a hindrance. He said, no, Krishna is happy. My happiness, I should not be thinking about my happiness. I must be thinking about Krishna's happiness. Full stop. This is the level of komalta, the softness of their heart when they are serving Krishna. This is the Krishna they know. And that is the reason why they love him to bits. And he loves everyone to the bits. See, there is a nice verse, Gita Govinda. This is from the Acharyas, Again, Jayadev Goswami. He writes this beautiful verse. I'll just recite this verse. Vishvesham anuranjanena janayan anandam indivara Shreni Shyamal Kamalair Upanayan Angay Anango Swamaswavam Swachandam Braja Sundari Bhiravi Taha Prati Angam Alingitaha Shrungarah Sakhi Murtiman Iva Madhav Mugdho Hari Kridati. So see, Madho, the word Madho also means mother, means sweet. And here it is referring to the sweet season. So among the different seasons that we have, what is the sweetest season? Spring. Now we have to be careful with this now. What in spring, what does Krishna do? This just to get an example, this is what Krishna loves and what devotees love to do to him. Full stop. So this verse it says, my dear friends, just see how Sri Krishna is enjoying the season of spring. How is he enjoying? With the gopis embracing each of his limbs. He's like amorous love personified. They all are attached to each of his limbs, all the gopis, pulling him, dancing with him, embracing him. With his transcendental pastimes, he enlivens all the gopis and the entire creation. Just see this. Now the last part comes, the punch. With his soft bluish black arms and legs, with his soft bluish black arms and legs, which resemble blue lotus flowers, he has created a festival for Cupid. How beautiful is this? The Cupid, every one of us are victims of Cupid. Now here, Krishna defeats the Cupid, where Cupid is defeated by seeing the way Krishna enjoys his amorous pastimes with the gopis, but they are just embracing each of his limbs, and it becomes festival for the Cupid. How wonderful is this? We cannot go beyond this verse. We feel like just staying in this verse, and just absorbing this verse. My dear friends, just see how Sri Krishna is enjoying the season of spring. With the gopis embracing each of his limbs, he is like amorous love personified. With his transcendental pastimes, he enlivens all the gopis and the entire creation. With his soft bluish black arms and legs, which resemble blue lotus flowers, he has created a festival for Cupid. So this kind of perplexities, mugdha, devotees are used to getting entangled. So when they see the universal form, which we see and we feel very so shocked to see Krishna's form and it is Krishna's form, they do not see this as Krishna's form. And there is a reason why it is going to come now and very soon. Where Arjuna says, please remove this form. Please show me your own 400 forms or 200 forms. So he then, from this universal form, shows 400 forms, 4 arms forms, and then 2 arms forms. Back to his personal form, where Arjuna is then pacified. You see, if we do not know these things, for us it becomes still, Krishna showed this form, it is ghastly, we were dying. So we must somehow or other pick ourselves up from these basic concepts of attached to material things, taking decisions based upon our material needs, jumping up and down, mind restless, to sit down peacefully and just chant Krishna's names in this mood, where the Cupid is finding festival seeing Krishna's pastime in spring. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. That's it. Otherwise, we are chanting is our last. We're chanting when we're sleeping, we're chanting when we're awake, we're chanting when we're doing some things. All these things. Chanting is an expression of love. What do you think the gopis do when Krishna leaves them? They chant. What do you think Arjuna does when Krishna leaves? He chants. So what should we do? We chant. Chant, chant, and chant. So please, we are followers of Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj, Srila Gurudev. Maharaj has very strict ways in which Maharaj loves and follows Srila Prabhupada. Scriptures is our basis. Scriptures are our deities. We know what is right, what is wrong. We say this for our training, and we are in preaching, so we have to say these things. But internally, we are very peaceful. We are absorbed in these kind of things, you see. Thinking, how does the Cupid find festival? How beautifully is it worded by Jayadev Goswami, Kaviraj. And more nectar you want to hear. So this is what I thought I shared about my realization and what I learned, what I felt. Thank you very much. Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Anyone wants to say anything, please feel free. Hare Krishna. Or anyone has any questions to any of the devotees who have given realizations, please feel free. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Amrish Prabhu. I was missing these discussions. Thank you, Punya Pangna Devi Ashrivat for your realization, and Krishna Prabhu and all the devotees for your realizations. My question, I've started in reading this chapter while I was preparing, and I've started from verse number 1 so that I know what the mood. I was not able to listen to those recordings for whatever reason. So my only question, Prabhu, I think Sridhar Prabhu spoke on this point, so probably I'll ask him about is it impersonal? No, sorry. The souls, I see all people rushing with full speed into your mouths as moths dash into blazing fire. So we know about annihilations, where actually this living entity has to leave body and have to merge, and they have to go into the force of Mahavishnu's body. So here, when these people are actually rushing the full speed, is it a kind of liberation, or are they getting liberated when they're entering the mouth of Krishna? That's my question.
Hare Krishna, Guruji. So, Guruji, it's a quite technical question. So I need to meditate on this point. But my understanding is that when I thought about this is, I do not think they are getting liberated. Means actually, when we think about the actually, it is just an analogy. I think what I thought is not necessarily everybody's getting killed by Krishna. When Krishna kills, yes, I know. Anybody who get killed by Krishna, they achieve the liberation. They achieve the Kaivalya. As Srila Prabhupada actually mentioned many times, when the many demons were killed by Krishna, they also attain the liberation. But here, actually, I actually meditated on this point as an analogy given that actually the condition of the living entities, conditioned living entities, material world. So actually, we are actually going through this birth and death cycle, again and again. It's perpetual cycle. We are actually elevating ourselves to maybe higher planetary system, then going back to lower planetary system. So we're perpetually suffering, Prabhuji. So as Amrish also again mentioned that point, Puna Punasya Charvita Charvinam. So we are actually, as long as we are actually circulating in this material world up and down, we always be in the trouble. So I do not think they are getting liberated from that point. I could be wrong, Prabhuji, but that is my actually understanding. Maybe Amrish can actually clarify that point in detail. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
No, you are right, Prabhuji. Srila Prabhu. This is ordinary living being. His Krishna is in the form of death. This is not devotees who are dying. It's not that way. So all living beings are dying. So Krishna is death personified. Yes, you answer this question.
Amrish, what I have heard, I think Prabhupada or somewhere I've read, that who were present in that battlefield of Kurukshetra, they all got liberated because of Krishna's presence. And
Yeah,
yeah, so is that, am I thinking right?
yeah, that is correct. That is correct. But those are the previous verses that is mentioned. So this is all ordinary people he's showing. He's saying.
Okay, Prabhu. It's been ordinary people. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Before that, it says warriors, then Drona and all those there. Before that, he said this. This is ordinary people who are just struggling in this material world. Okay. Anyone else wants to say anything? Or any questions?